It's Bourbon Night Live. How's everyone doing? Welcome in on another Sunday.
Yep. We got a special Sunday episode
Yes, we do.
for you all today.
Yes, we do.
We're doing some blending with Penelope. And Chad is tinkering. There's always something.
Yeah. It's darker on YouTube than it appears in our screen, so I just saw that we look a little...
Objects on YouTube are maybe darker than they.
Yeah, that's the YouTube compression. So we're a little... Well, it's just more contrast, you know?
Yeah, but I don't know.
Anywho, enough about that.
I agree.
Yeah, this is on a very special episode of It's Bourbon
Night. You make
that
joke every time?
That's only twice now. We're going to bring in the guys from Penelope Bourbon, and we've been doing a little bit of homework here, as you can see.
Why, Chad? Tell us why.
Because we are doing our first ever It's Bourbon Night small batch that will be available to you guys. You guys meaning Patreon.
A little blend of our own.
Sometimes it might get outside of Patreon, but the way it hasn't been lately.
No, I think the days of that happening are behind us, Chad.
So
don't tempt them.
If you would like to be able to purchase or have a chance to purchase barrel picks, including the upcoming Penelope one,
Patreon is where you do it.
Patreon.com.
And if you just want to watch us blend, then welcome to this episode.
Yeah, this will also be fun and educational.
Well, actually, Chad, I say that, we already did all the blending, because what you don't want to watch for an hour is me going like this.
I had to watch it.
We did all that off screen.
It wasn't that fun.
Right off camera.
Yeah.
And we basically tried a bunch of different stuff, narrowed it down to 3 that we like the best based on our options. Mm-hmm. And now we're here today. These have been sitting since Friday, and we're here today to try them out and pick one. But who do we have to help us, Chad?
Look how our camera's flanked with bottles. Look at that.
Just right off screen.
Like little goalposts. Yeah, we're going to bring in the guys from Penelope. So please welcome Mike and Danny. Let's go ahead and bring them in. Welcome, guys. How are you?
Good.
Do
We're in
you
our
go by
Sunday
Danny,
casual gear.
Sunday casual, yes. We're going hoodies. It's cold out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you prefer Danny or Daniel? I think you're on mute.
Danny, first time doing it, apparently.
Oh, my gosh.
It happens. Danny works. All right, perfect.
Yep. Well, I noticed when you came on, I think that's how your name was written. So I was like, okay.
All right, that works.
Danny, we're going with Danny. Keeping it cash, like we said. Keeping it
super cash.
Yeah, super cash. So, first of all, guys, before we get to tasting these yummy blends, why don't you just kind of tell people if they don't know about Penelope? I mean, they may have seen you, Mike, recently in our Kentucky Bourbon Festival coverage.
Yep, our recap.
Recap, but
also known as the day we met. I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah, the day we met. Yeah, the day we met you guys. Yeah.
Chad was like, "What?"
Huh? That doesn't compute. But yeah, just tell everyone about your all's brand, Penelope Bourbon.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it. That was fun. We had met at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival in this past September. But Danny and I we're next door neighbors growing up in New Jersey, and really we're a fairly new company. We started this about 3 years ago, and it all kind of stemmed from my wife and I were trying to have children for a little while, and it was taking a little bit longer than we expected. And we had always said if we love the name Penelope. It was just a name that we fell in love with. So if we had a girl, we were going to name her that. And lo and behold, we found out. And while I was very excited for my newborn daughter, I just had an idea like, wow, it had a great ring for it, Penelope Bourbon. And so I remember calling Danny. I said, I got this crazy idea. I don't know anything about bourbon other than that we love whiskey and we love bourbon. I said, I got this crazy idea. Let's just go see if we could figure it out. And next thing you know, we started cold calling a bunch of folks, just asking for intros, and just started the process. And that was basically, Danny, what was that? The summer of 2018. So about that time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was fast forward from there.
Yeah. So it's been a while, right? I always tell people we started this business, and our wives have been amazingly supportive. But when we started this in 2018, there was no children. We had no children. Penelope was just, we still 5 months from being born. Fast forward to today, and now there's 5 children. And I hear one crying right now. So it's been
Do you need to
personally
go
and
take care of
professionally,
that?
it's been wild. Yeah.
Oh, very
Wow.
cool. Very cool. I've got our first super chat of the evening. This is from Clifton. Great channel here on YouTube. I'm going to have to move this bottle so
You
I
will
can
have to move that bottle.
read the super chats. But Bourbon
Clifton.
Bites here on YouTube. He says, Penelope is one of my favorite new brands. Cheers, guys. Looking forward to the stream tonight. Well, thank you, Clifton.
Thanks, Kristen.
Thanks.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Clifton. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So, you guys want to get to drinking? Because this, as we said, will be... this will be the I don't know if it'll be the next, but it will be a upcoming It's Bourbon Night, and we can't say single barrel, small batch. So
We're excited.
We'd love
see
to.
what ones you came up with.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. And really, like how we started this was we were, when we had first started the company, we really started out with younger barrels. And we kind of always had said that it's going to be slow and steady. We want to, we wanted to make sure that we could kind of build a product that was sustainable for us in terms of inventory. So when we started this kind of journey, we had first started tinkering, and we kind of flew out to MGP and we started tinkering with their 99 corn bourbon, their 45 wheat bourbon, and their 21 rye bourbon. And, obviously we started blending them and it just kind of started to kind of take fold from there. And so by default, because we had a corn bourbon, a rye, and a wheat bourbon, all three of those also had barley malt in them as well. And so by kind of default, you get this 4-grain, which was really interesting. But from that moment on, even from that first visit to MGP, where we kind of started to put those three together, that's been the basis of pretty much every product we've released up till now, with the exception of a limited light whiskey offering we kind of released a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, and so we had always said we started out with 2-year-old barrels, and we just started just as we kind of grew slowly. We started with 6 barrels, we went to 12 barrels, we went to 15 barrels, and we kind of gradually kept increasing that quantity. But we'd always backfill our inventory after every barrel dump so that we can slowly start accruing more and more barrels, but the age would also start gradually getting older and older. So, for us, blending has always been at the ethos of everything that we do at our company. And so we'd always felt if we were going to do some sort of like kind of quote unquote barrel program, it'd be fun to kind of take that initial experience that we had and kind of do it with, friends of ours like yourselves. And we thought it'd be a lot of fun.
very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, it was fun. Putting these together was a ton of fun.
It was.
So just for some context, we had some calls with you guys and talked about what we wanted to do, and you guys sent the bottles over, and we had asked for just kind of like a good place to start, right? I don't want to go way off in left field, so like based on what you guys see a lot of, can you give me a couple of different ratios to try out to start with, and then we'll see what we like and we'll go from there. And so that's kind of what we did. So we had, I think it was a 60% of the rye, a 60% of the wheat was another one, and then equal parts of all three was another one that we tried. And so in doing that, experimenting, we kind of found that we liked the equal parts of all three the best.
But
just
that's
from
boring.
that. Right, just from the initial, we liked that as a jumping off point. So that kind of told us what we didn't want based on our profiles, where we didn't want to go way heavy in any one of the bottles that you gave us of the samples. So I
got it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, and that's great, because that's kind of how we approach, our blends. We, with this specific program, we selected some nice barrels for y'all, and we just start by combining them together, tasting them individually, combining them together, taste them again, and then just moving from there. And it's just like like a bunch of iterations to get to, the best blend for those specific barrels. So we love to share that with you.
Yeah.
If anyone was wondering why I was taking a swig out of this,
I was wondering.
Well, I ate something for dinner that got really stuck in the teeth.
Cute.
Back in the
really
back.
attractive.
Yeah, I know. So I brushed my teeth. Now, normally you say, gross, Chad.
Why would you brush your teeth before a bourbon tasting?
Because you don't brush your teeth before a bourbon tasting, but I had to because it was just bugging me. So now I'm just trying to get that taste.
Oh, so that was your control.
That was my control. It happened to be a 2017 Four Roses LE
Oh, what a control bourbon.
that we had taken.
I think I'm mad at you now.
Control bourbon.
Yeah. It was only half an ounce.
It reminds me of the scene from the movie Sideways, where he does his whole spiel on wine, and then he goes, "Are you chewing gum?"
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, I'm glad our industry isn't quite like that.
Right.
Like only some people will be like, "You brushed your teeth today before a bourbon tasting at 5 p.m." Well, how could you? Like, ew, no, of course I brushed my teeth this morning. Gross.
You brushed your teeth this week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Also, is this not our first live back since Dry January? It's been over? Because we did a Patreon tasting.
What did we do last Sunday? No, we did.
But that was still January. That was our nominees.
We didn't. This is our first one back.
So,
There you go.
All right.
welcome,
Thumbs up.
guys, to a very auspicious wet February.
I don't know if I like that.
Live. We're back to drinking, folks.
What everyone's been waiting for.
Woo.
Yes.
Except my liver. My liver has not been waiting for it. But
And
it's
now
okay.
your tolerance is flipped probably, so
It has.
you have one drink.
I had
Yeah.
one cocktail the other night and I was like, woo.
Yeah. It's,
That did it.
It's gone a little sideways.
So the blends that we ended up here with, and we put these in, I did the blends on Friday. So these have been sitting for a couple of days for anyone who's curious. They've been mingling,
We also brought our frother.
aka aerator.
I love it.
Oh.
Cute.
I
The
love
dog
that.
does not like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the samples that we have here, and I'm gonna, instead of saying, wheat bourbon, rye bourbon, and then just like corn bourbon, the percentages and everything,
They're
since
all
you already
bourbons.
listed them before, yes. So I'm just gonna abbreviate and say wheat, rye, and corn, so I don't have to talk for forever. But we have the first one, which is 40% wheat, 30% rye, and 30% corn.
Mm-hmm.
The second one, which is 40% wheat, 40% rye, and 20% corn.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one, which is 40% rye, 30% wheat, and 30% corn.
There you go.
So we did keep the corn levels pretty low. If it wasn't either equal to, it was the lowest. And we really liked it as a base, but we wanted to make sure that we were keeping that sweetness under control.
Yeah.
So that's that was kind of our thought process on it. We didn't intend it. It's not like we set out with that in mind, but like that's just what ended up happening.
Well, yeah, I mean, the very first thing we did is we poured a neat pour of
each of them.
Each of them.
Kind of assessed.
And assessed.
Like Danny was saying.
Right. And then we took it from there. But knowing us, I think we thought, oh, we're gonna like the more rye heavy, and we had a lot of assumptions that didn't completely pan out, and
not like we thought.
Yeah. And
I would have thought we would have again, one of the starting point ratios that they provided was like a 60% rye. And I really thought, like, immediately I was like, well, obviously that's the one we're going to end up with. And it didn't turn out that way.
That's right.
We kept trying, higher rye proportions. And while they were good, it just wasn't right for us.
Absolutely.
Did anything surprise you of like the individual barrels?
I think it surprised me. Well,
I'm trying to think back now. I remember the 99% corn was obviously very sweet. That's not surprising though.
But it's 99% corn, so I would expect it to be.
Yeah.
I think the flavor and like how mellow but still really flavorful the wheat was.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we ended up leaning more towards it, and then we used the rye more as like a seasoning. And the corn as kind of a base. Yeah,
and like by themselves, I remember liking the 21% rye bourbon the most. So that I think that's why we thought we were gonna like that as the lion's share of our blend, and actually we started going more towards wheat or a more average ratio of all three. And,
right, we have this equal parts wheat and rye here. So which one should we start with?
You pick. And we're going to do our next super chat, which is from Michelle Martin, who says, cheers to enjoy whiskey with you both again. Great way to start off February with your Knob Creek pick. Delicious.
Thanks,
and yes,
Michelle.
It is a delicious pick. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Let's do the 40% wheat, 40% rye, 20% corn. So this one is the highest rye ratio.
Okay.
Danny, on the blends you gave me today, which one is that? 1, 2, or 3?
That's number 3.
Okay.
Oh, I can go in your order if you like.
No, it's.
Okay.
I like
No,
They're all
to
in order, just to
It's
keep
just
it,
yeah.
keep
identify.
us on our toes.
I'll
The good
go
news is
ahead
we've
and
done a few of these now, and we do remember to take notes.
yeah, that's always important.
Perfect.
When we first started doing this, there's been times where we like Danny and I were just kind of talking and going through, and we're like, like just having fun, we're like, and afterwards we're like, oh, did you like jot down like what their blend is?
That's embarrassing when you're like, oh, guys, I'm going to dump your barrels. Can you just remind me what your blend was?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
love
now
that.
I always have a pen with me, always.
Nice. I mean, we've learned that the hard way from going on barrel picks. Like when we get in a group with other people and we're tasting whiskey and we're having fun and we're talking about it, if there's not a camera rolling to remind me what we said, and I have to take notes. Otherwise, like the next day, I'm like, I remember that we picked something and it was really good.
Yeah.
But what can I say about it? So yeah, notes are crucial.
You wake up, you're like, oh
when
man,
drinking is involved.
I think I picked a single barrel last night. And you're like, what did I do?
What did I do? So I went ahead and numbered this one 3, just so we can stay on the same page with you.
Very good. Our friend James Wolverton of the next super chat. Thank you, James. Saying cheers. Looking forward to the winning blend. Thank you much, James. Appreciate it.
Here,
You're a
I guess I need
queen.
a bit more so we can froth it.
Yeah. Have you guys seen this frother in action before?
I've never actually gotten to do it, so.
Yeah. Ooh, let it go. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Some people get really agitated by this.
Agitated.
Nice.
But we've been on picks where literally when they're thieving from the barrel. Thanks, Chad. When they're thieving from the barrel, like they'll do it right there and say, it helps kind of mimic what it would happen if you
let it sit out.
If
for
you
like
let it
20
sit out
minutes.
for a while,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Gets me. I'm not a scientist. I'm sure you could argue lots of different ways, but
we play one on TV.
Right.
And this seems to work.
I should get one of those. That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun. I feel like I can taste the difference when I try something, especially like straight from the barrel. Just try it straight up and then use that. It definitely has an impact. I think it forces more air into it, which
Yeah. It's
Oh,
I mean there's tons of these on Amazon, but this particular one
they don't pay us. Let's go ahead and
Yeah.
be clear about that. This is not a sponsorship. They do not pay us.
Is Zulay, Zulay. You actually can go to amazon.com/shop/itsbourbonnight, and it's the very first product on there.
So really,
We do that. We do that for a
True,
gift
though,
giving
like,
guy.
when you pull the sample from the barrel, it's always got more ethanol on it. Like from barrel to bottle it's a journey,
Yeah.
and it's same base profile, but it has more of that ethanol, and it's like a little more sharp, I like to describe it, and then it just rounds out once it's in the bottle.
Absolutely.
We've even noticed too, like when we do our barrel strength offering, man, if we bottle it and it's a palletized bottle done, but it could be like a month before it starts going out to our wholesalers, that it's different than if we bottle it, palletize it, and send it out within like a week of coming off the line. It definitely has an impact for sure, even in the bottle.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just making a
I
note
mean,
here.
I figure it can't hurt, right? It's not like we're damaging anything. It's good to just get a sense of what that does. So we're pro frother.
We're pro froth.
We're team froth.
Team froth.
But yeah.
Ooh,
like
this has
this.
mingled nicely.
Yeah. These definitely, I think them having a few days to mingle has been helpful.
And then the frothing.
Right. And then, of course, the frothing. Yeah. Again, so this one is the 40% wheat, 40% rye, 20% corn bourbon ratio.
Yeah.
Um,
Actually, I can put that up there. Well, no, that's our name.
That's an old one.
That's not what I meant to do.
It's okay.
I got it.
Okay.
Man, I'm getting some really nice black cherry on this.
Yeah, and it's light and it has sweetness, but also, again, I'm getting a little bit of the spice from the rye, which is really nice. Balancing out that cherry. Yeah, that's actually not something I got before when we were tasting this last week.
Bam.
Almost like a black cherry and dark chocolate note.
Yeah.
It's like a caramel hard candy.
It's really good.
In there. That's good.
It's very balanced.
Really balanced.
Now, again, people may be joining us, that 40% wheat is actually a
45% wheat bourbon
45,
mash bill.
yeah, so a bourbon mash bill where 45% of the wheat is of that mash bill. The 40% rye is a 21% rye bourbon, so it has corn, rye, malted barley, and then that 20% corn is actually a 99% corn bourbon.
Right.
So,
but that's a lot to put on screen at once.
Yeah, but it's funny because even when you run the math, so with the blend percentage is 40, 40, 20, because that's a 99 corn, you're still going to have a significant amount of corn in the final mash bill, which is interesting.
We could actually
run the final mash bill.
Yeah, the blended mash bill on this is 70% corn, 8% rye, 18% wheat, and 3% malted barley.
Interesting. I feel like it still gets a lot of the rye characteristics.
You mathed it?
Yeah, you doing that math, I'm thankful for you, because me just trying to get the ratios down to get these 4-ounce sample bottles, I was like, okay, Google's milliliters.
Come on, Danny, we have a calculator.
It's an Excel calculator.
More than what I could do. Okay. So more than what I could do. We got a good question from Michael up here.
Yes.
And I don't know if you guys have like a standard time, but like what generally does your timeline from once we say, okay, this is the blend we want to do, what's that timeline look like?
Well, we're not like, we're a small company. So we've had, and especially on us, we have all different types of products, but for our line, we, if kind of defer a lot to the customer. We'll ask them like, when do they need it by? Some folks will be like, well, I'm kind of looking at this for, maybe end of March. And so we'll kind of work our production calendar to some extent around, what they're looking for and what their timing are. But for us, we can move pretty quickly. Generally, it's about a month, usually.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes. In some states, like in New York, we have to do like these neck tags. So you can't have stickers. You got to have neck tags, and those take 2 months. So it just depends.
Gotcha.
But it's not long.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, that's a relatively short turnaround time considering like we've waited north of 6 months for something before. Maybe even 8 or 9 months. So yeah, that's cool.
Now, what about, do you have any guess as to what the proof that we might be drinking is? Is there an Excel for that?
Yeah. So I do. This is going to be in that 115 range.
Nice.
Okay.
It feels that way, like, but not aggressively. Like, I like where it sits,
I would have said 110 maybe.
At the back of my tongue, and it has like a really nice warmth, a nice hug, but it's not super overpowering. Like, I get a little bit of that rye spice and a little bit of that heat on the finish, and I like that a lot.
Yeah.
This is delicious. This is because this is the first time I'm trying these.
Okay.
I love this finish on your blend. I mean, this is really good. This the third one.
Well, thank you. I guess.
Should we?
Anything else?
Should we keep like?
I'm gonna keep it. Yeah.
All right. So let's do this.
I'll keep mine by the bottle.
All right.
So I don't know.
We're gonna make we'll post it here.
Post it.
Yeah.
So this is the 40 wheat, 40 rye, 20 corn.
Also known as number 3.
Also known as numero 3.
Great.
And we can just set our glasses right there.
Cool. I'm good. Here.
Okay.
It's funny about the wheat. The wheat's funny because that we kind of refer to as almost like fabric softener. It is like the softening blend of the three that we use. It softens everything up.
It's so nice.
Put that on your label.
It really polishes, like almost if there's any like, I mean, I wouldn't say like hard edges, but yeah, any of that, it really does polish it up. It's nice. I like that. I think that's why we were leaning so much more towards it, because we really like the flavors in the rye, but we love the effect of the wheat.
Yeah, but it is the most inconsistent mash that we work with.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So it is the most inconsistent. Yeah.
So next.
So we don't have another 40-40.
No,
we didn't do a
these
switch.
are 40-30s.
40-30s.
So this is either a 40 rye, 30 wheat, or flip-flop 40 wheat, 30 rye.
Let's stick with the wheat.
Let's stick with the wheat.
So we're going to do 40% wheat, 30% rye, 30% corn. If you want to put those, I will update.
That's numero dos?
Number 2. So we're going backwards.
Okay.
Cool.
Let's do it.
38.
I'm going to roll up the sleeves and do it.
Graphic is updated. But
1, 2.
Is that good?
40-30. Yep.
It's so funny. My these samples were out in my kitchen before my wife walked by. She looks at the bottles and she goes, "It's bourbon night." She goes, "Isn't it every night bourbon night for you?"
that's
It's kind of the running joke,
kind of
right?
why we named it that. Yeah.
Most nights turn into bourbon nights.
And we do have a question from actually I don't remember if it was Mike or Danny who said this, but said that has the most inconsistency.
That was the wheat
in that in the recipe. So Tom is asking, is that you mean like inconsistent between barrels, or just kind of elaborate
Mostly
on that?
between batches. So between the batches of them, like some of them are a lot more earthy, or you get these creamy, sweeter batches. And somebody told me, and I don't know how true it is, but somebody, actually a distiller, told me that I guess wheat is cut closer to the earth, so you get a lot of that earth in the grain, and then it goes through the whole process. But who knows? I've never harvested wheat before.
Okay.
But I mean, I
Danny's
could
never
see
harvested
that just between what we're tasting, though. Some of them are like super. You would think they were like super high malt because they just have like a lot of that like earth flavor in it. And then some of them are just like these creamy butterball, delicious, like great things. But those are few and far between.
Out of curiosity, what is the percent of barley in that wheat bourbon? If you know off the top of your head.
I actually have it right here because I always.
Because I thought it
4%.
tasted kind of barley forward, but I like that like almost.
Ooh, this one's got more of a little floral pop to it, doesn't it?
It is a little bit more floral and maybe a little bit more subdued.
A little softer.
Yeah, but I think that's, to be expected with the wheat. Like
Yeah. Oh, we got Trev Wilson in here, the Bourbon Wrench, saying hello, friends.
Hi, Trev.
Oh, and then our next super chat here from Stefan.
Oh, we didn't cheers the other ones.
We did not.
We're the worst.
Yes. Glad my Sunday evening friends are back. Ooh. Black cherry and dark chocolate number 3. Sign me up. Are Penelope products available in Illinois?
Yes. Yeah, we're available all throughout Illinois, Chicago Metro, Chicago, and also all throughout the Champaign and downstate as well, too.
Okay, very good. Well, cheers to those super chats.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
And it sounds like we maybe from the chat had a sound issue for like a hot second, but it's better now. So thanks for letting us know.
It's all good.
That's what they said.
I wonder what it was.
I don't know. I think our sound just may have dropped for a second.
Oh, okay.
Sounds like it.
We are.
What happens with technology sometimes?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we look good. And then another super chat here from Tiffany saying, we live in Iowa. What state would we need to travel to in order to find Penelope?
Well, we're not in Iowa yet. I want to be. All my stepfather's family lives in Davenport. We've been looking at going into Iowa. But right now, the closest states would either be Illinois to your east or Nebraska to your west.
We actually have.
You're better off than me. Somebody asked me to do geography on the spot after drinking a couple. Woo! It depends on especially if it's those 4 square states. I'm like, wait, which one's which and what's...
I had a little bit moment of doubt that Iowa was Illinois. No, in the previous one, I was like, that's Illinois, right? But, when you're live and they're all going to laugh at you, I'm like, oh, no.
Oh, no.
I'm dialed in right now, man. I'm dialed in. I'm live and I'm going.
Last week, I said there's 9 players on a football field. That's not right.
On a football team.
No, I know there's more players than that on a team.
No,
on the field at one time. That's what I said.
From a team. Okay, I got
yes,
you. No,
okay.
We're good. We're good.
Michael has another good question.
Yes.
Sorry, I just tapped the mic a little bit.
Where?
Right there.
Oh, that's a good one.
If you guys are doing tours.
We don't really do tours because it's actually we just have a manufacturing facility just based on our permit type. But if you shoot me an email, just michael@penelopebourbon.com, we could figure something out for sure.
Oh, cool.
And
how accommodating of you.
I'm channeling
Yeah, it's fun.
the Kentucky Bourbon Festival video. In that, you said also available for shipping at penelopebourbon.com, but that of course depends on your state.
Your state, yeah.
That depends on your state. We work with we have like a third-party fulfillment partner, so they ship to a few states, but it will tell you if it doesn't. There's some states it just doesn't ship to for obviously legal reasons, but yeah, they do ship to. There's a partner in California and then a partner in New York. There's a few retail partners that do ship out. So,
but you can also find a store locator on your website as well.
We do.
That's helpful.
That could be helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and you know what's funny? You go to our store locator. When we got into this, one of the hardest things to update is your store locator. It's like it is like really, really tricky. But I think we've got it. It's usually updated once a month, and it should be pretty up to date for now.
Very good right now, yeah.
Awesome.
So you want another mash bill on this one?
Yes, please.
Sure. It's 73% corn, 6% rye, 18% wheat, and 3% malted barley.
Okay, where were the first two again?
73% corn and 6% rye.
Okay.
So both these blends were pretty high wheat compared to, like, I guess where Penelope usually lands, which is really interesting, and it's making them very nice.
Agreed.
Yeah, I like this one. And I definitely think it's a bit softer than the first one that we had. And it tastes really good. Like, it's very mellow. It has a little bit of that, nice, like, a little bit of the rye still, like, lingering on the finish, and I think giving me a little bit of a hug. But
I'm surprised that you said 6% rye when you break it all down.
Right.
That's surprising to me.
Yeah.
But 4 grain. I guess all of these are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm trying to. There's something on the nose I love. I can't.
Chad was saying like a bit more of a floral note, and
yeah.
But like almost like a honeysuckle.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like you literally took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
And almost like a candied fruit or something, like a candied or like
almost
dried.
getting a little apricot.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I was saying it was.
We're
it
very...
was the or that might have been the no. Is it? I can't remember now. I'm lost.
This nose is really good. I mean, it's just really. It's like it's sweet because there's obviously more corn in it. It's a little bit sweeter, but it's not like it's like a honey. It's really like I get that honeysuckle a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
40% rye, 30% wheat.
Now I know I had another question. Oh yeah. Where in New Jersey are you guys located?
We're in Roselle, New Jersey, so about 20 minutes outside the Holland Tunnel, which is one of the tunnels going into Lower Manhattan.
Okay. I was asking because Chad and I are maybe talking about doing a little couple-day trip up to New York City, and half for fun and half for research, because why not? So we've always wanted to go to like Widow Jane that's up there, Kings County, and then if you guys are close by, we'd love to
definitely come by. Yeah,
come on by. Yeah, we're all,
especially if you fly in Newark. We're like 10-15 minutes from Newark Airport.
Great.
Okay.
Well, we could arrange that.
I was gonna say Widow Jane recently now part of Heaven Hill, right?
Is that right? Did they get bought? Mm-hmm. Oh, why did
that was part of that where the Chicago
Few
Spirit.
Oh, so they acquired a few things.
Good night, everybody.
I saw what I did.
Anyway.
Now you can't undo it.
There we go.
Now you can't undo it. That was well played. Well played, though. That was good.
I didn't mean to.
Thank you.
It was an accident.
We do have another super chat here from Scott. Let me take that away. Put him up. He's saying, speaking of Nebraska, it was nice to meet you and Danny and Mike at Ken's Keg in Nebraska when you were there. I love Penelope. There you go.
Yeah, Scott, that was awesome.
We had a great time that day.
We had a great Ken's Kegs, great customer of ours.
I'm having a little bit of FOMO.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very fun night. Thank you for coming out too, by the way.
In Nebraska.
Yeah, that was a good trip. That was back in November, early December.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Scott's a good guy to have on your side.
We had fun.
That's right.
He looks out for us in the chat.
He's helped us out on a pick before too.
It's true.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I really.
But see, okay, I like them both. Now I have to decide: do I want this like slightly sweeter honey, a little bit of floral, a little bit of like that candied fruit note, or am I feeling more of this like? Ooh, and going back to the nose on the 40% wheat, 40% rye though.
Yeah, when you go back to the other one, it's
Ooh,
it's more candied.
I like them both a lot, but when I went back to that first one, I was like, excuse me.
So there's something on the nose of this current one that we're drinking.
Wait, that's this one.
Sorry.
40% wheat.
The one that's on screen.
Yes, that one.
The nose and the palate that gives me a little bit of the vibes of our Nulu pick, like a dame to drink for. It seems to be more in that vein, since we're dealing with the same origin.
Okay.
Something more in that vein than the first one. Do you agree? No comment?
I don't know. See, I'd have to try them side by side.
Okay. Yeah. Anywho.
Shall we move on to the last one?
We shall.
It's interesting, though, how it's just like, and this is something we notice a lot, too, because we're constantly doing these. But like just the most subtle change, it could be even a 0.5 percentage point difference in maybe the wheat or the rye could like totally change just the nose or the finish or the palate. I mean, it's just, I mean, these aren't, I mean, between 2 and 3, I mean, they're not dramatically that far apart. I mean, yeah, the 10%, you know, there's a swing, but it's not, I mean, it's not a lot. I mean, they're just so completely different.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's what we found when we were testing the ratios and stuff, like just dialing up or down a tiny bit was really making a huge difference.
Yeah.
And that's why these are kind of all within the same range, you know?
I mean, that can definitely give you a little bit of option paralysis. Like if you're a particularly, you know, anal person, you'd be like, I need to, how many different combinations can there be?
We don't have time.
And I need to try them all.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that sounds like a lot of work, though. It'd be cool if someone else did it for me.
I was like,
but I'm not.
Oh, when we do our batches of our barrel strength, we are in that 40 to 50 kind of group of blend iterations, and then we just keep narrowing it down. So 40, 50 goes to like 30, goes to 20, goes to 10, 8, 6, 4, and then we'll usually just kind of, by the time you get to 4, you have 4 pretty solid blends, and then it's like, well, shit, what do we want to what do we want to put out this time? Do we want something that's like, more of the dark chocolates? Do you want something that's the candied apples? So it's definitely fun and interesting. It's tough though when you have a group of barrels like that and you have 2 really good choices, and you can only do it once because you can't replicate it on the next batch.
Yeah.
But it's always a good time.
For sure.
Yeah. Do you guys have either a ratio or a product of yours that you lean towards, that's your go-to?
Danny, why don't you go first?
Not to put you on the spot, and we can come back to it.
You're on the spot. Come back to it. Let's go with Danny first.
Danny, spotlight's on you.
Yeah. I really don't. Because they're so different depending on which batches we use, and they're all over the place. I mean, I love the 99 corn, and Mike hates it when I say this because he's a 21 rye guy. So, like when I get a good batch of 99 corn, it definitely comes through, and you can use it well. But it really depends on what the batches that we're working with at the time, because sometimes the 21 rye is delicious, and sometimes the 45 wheat. So you just kind of play to whatever the best parts are at that time.
Wow. We took a sip while you're talking there, and wow, these have really mingled well.
They really have.
And
it's crazy the difference from what we tried when we were doing the initial blend.
Yeah, we've been aerating. We've been muting our mic and doing some aerating while you guys have been full screen. But we'll continue that question here with Mike.
Are you on 1?
We are on one.
Yes.
Yes. Sorry, we did not announce that. Apologies. Mike.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll be honest, right? I mean, barrel strength's my favorite product, I think, just because I think I remember the first batch we did of it. It actually wasn't a great batch. It was more of an R&D batch. It was 75 cases, and it was like
straight fire,
like sandpaper. But we learned a lot on that first batch of barrel strength, and we learned very quickly that how we blend our traditional 4-grain, which is an 80 proof, is significantly different than how we would be blending something at cast strength. And I personally like, and that's why I really just loved blend number 3 a lot, is because one of my favorite batches was batch 7, which was I remember just a ton of dark chocolate that I just like absolutely loved. And batch 8, batch 8 was just a really delicious one. So I like all of our barrel strength batches, but those in particular really stand out.
Nice.
And we use the same 3 bourbon mash bills for all of our products. And, I feel like all our products are very different. Like our 80 proof is very different than our barrel strength.
Yeah.
And our toasted series is wildly different. Our rosé cast finish is, we usually do more of like a higher wheat blends because they really accept the wine sugars a lot better. So they're all so wildly different, but they're the same 3 bourbon mash bills, which it really, we love to show people how the blending really plays that role in making it wildly, different.
What about mash bill breakdown on this guy, Danny?
Ooh. Oh.
Danny's formerly was an engineer, so he loves questions like this.
Sorry, we're throwing you all kinds of questions in a row.
Oh, the nose is
20.
That's awesome.
I get a lot more pepper on the finish of this one.
This one does have some, I think, of the 3, the most heat.
It does have the most heat. Now, you updated, this is the 40% rye.
Yeah, let me put that back on screen.
Zoop. So this is the highest of the rye. So it's 72% corn, 9% rye, 15% wheat, and 3% malted barley. And I'm kind of rounding the decimals, so it might not add up to 100, but it's like 99 or 101, whatever.
Gotcha. And then I know Chad asked us on the first pour, and you said like about 115 proof. Is that true for all of these, or is that just for that one? Are they like in a range?
It's going to be like in that 114 to maybe 116 range.
Okay, perfect. That's not going to make. Sometimes if someone's like, well, do you want 100, 109, or 115? Like that's going to make a difference. Yeah. But if it's a difference between 114 and 116, like that's not going to change our minds about anything.
No. Yeah.
Although we would argue that knowing the proof ahead of time shouldn't change your opinion anyways. It should just be about the taste.
Yeah, there you go.
Age and proof.
Age and proof.
People are always like, I'm going to want the oldest, highest proof one. I'm like, but dude.
Good on paper, but don't really mean... don't really mean jack when the chips are down and you take it in your glass.
Why are the chips down? I'm just kidding.
They fell off the counter.
Yeah, this one is giving me
nice hug.
Yeah, more of that rye spice and peppery on the finish.
Man, they all have good things about them. They really do.
I think I know which one I like the best, though. I do. What I'm scared of is now I'm going to get outvoted.
We doing a democracy here?
No, the chat will decide if I win or not.
The chat's not tasting it.
Yeah, but they trust me. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, they do.
There's not a wrong answer, let's be honest.
There's not.
Without looking at each other, you guys hold up the number of the blend that you like the best.
Not the number in which we tried it, but the number that's on the bottle. Or the number in which we tried it.
Oh, man.
Alrighty. Well, we should get that straight, I think.
Yeah, let's do, because the chat doesn't know.
Well, our third one was number 1 for you all.
Yeah, so that's too confusing. Stop that. No. We're going to do out of the order in which we tried them.
Okay.
Because they don't know.
Right. So 1, 2, or 3. This being 3.
Right. This being 3, the one we've had last.
Okay.
All
right.
All right, ready? We're not going to look at each other.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking at you.
Right.
Okay, ready?
3,
3,
2, 1.
Did you shrug? I mean, I can't help my
You know
peripheral
what you
vision.
do well.
Well, I know.
One, really? That's the furthest one from my memory because we tried it first.
Just go back and smell it.
Just go back and smell it. Yeah. Okay.
No, they're all really tasty. The thing I like about one is sort of in my, it's kind of like my Goldilocks scenario. I think it's got the 40% rye, which is great, but it also has that 40% wheat that's balancing it out, that's like polishing it up. Whereas the second one that we had was, higher wheat, so I was missing a little bit more of that rye spice. Well, it was really tasty. It leaned more to the sweeter side for me. And then the last one leans, because it's the highest rye proportion on its own, is a little too peppery. It's not too peppery. It's just between all three of them, I felt like one was that just right spot for me.
My favorite nose is 2.
What? They're both really good. Are we smelling the same thing?
Did you put lotion on?
No.
Lip gloss?
Does it smell like Does it smell like Colgate?
I mean, there's
I'm
like
getting crazy.
hair,
It's
but
Sunday night. It's bourbon night. I just blended 2 and 3 together.
Ooh.
Oh.
What's that mash bill, Danny?
Mike loves doing that.
Danny, what's that mash ball? And I eyeballed it.
Throwing a curveball in there. Just put them together. See what happens.
And Danny knows because Danny does the blending and he knows that I just eyeball it. I go, yeah, I think it was like a half a gulp.
Half a gulp,
Hey, Perry's in here. He's going to be our referee on next weekend's live
on the
for
Bourbon Bowl.
Bourbon Bowl. He says, stopping in briefly, but wanted to say hello, friends, and can't wait to hang with everyone next Sunday. Yes, referee.
The 4th annual Bourbon Bowl, where
and breaker of ties.
Chad always wins, and we both get a little too intoxicated.
You won last year.
I did
for the first time.
Yeah.
I mean, Mike's.
I gotta say though, I would be thrilled with 2 or 3, but I really like that, like what Mike was describing. When we had one, that cherry chocolate something going on.
A cherry chocolate something
with that little bit of spice. I really like that.
Hold on, I'm now going through them. I do take longer in flight fights.
It's true. I always force Chad to say, okay, let's kick one out up front. We've got 3. We got to kick one out. So at least we're on the same page. We've narrowed it down. He hates to do it. He's like, why? We can't do that. I'm like, well, you can only walk away with one. So at some point you have to.
You tell Mike and Danny which one you're like, ugh, not this one.
What?
Boo.
Okay, out of like the 12 blends that we made or plus,
it was a preference.
these are the 3 that we like the best. So in no way are any of these
would you say we had
undesirable.
a plethora of blends?
Plethora. I would say we had a plethora.
That's what I said.
Not what you said. I don't know what you said, but I'm pretty sure it's not in the dictionary.
Plethora. Really good.
We'll work on that later.
Mm-hmm.
So while we kind of taste back and forth here, can you guys tell us maybe if you have anything else coming out or any like experiments you're working on or anything like that, if you can share?
Give us a scoop. We want a scoop.
Danny, give him the scoop.
Innovations, anything like that.
What are you tinkering? What are we tinkering with right now, Danny?
Well, one toasted series. We're still just playing around, playing with different cooperages, and that's something we're just doing at kind of a small scale right now. We're playing with Tokai cast finishes and rye whiskey, which has been delicious. We're just trying to figure that out right now. Vino de Naranja, it's an orange Spanish wine, and we have some of those barrels, and we have them finishing right now. It's going to be about probably like an 8 to 12 month finish, but we're about halfway through, and it's coming out really, really good. So expect to see that, probably late summer. Architect series is us playing with French oak staves. So we're combining different French oak staves that at different char and toast levels. Just different toast levels, and we're blending them together, and that's coming out like April. So that's going to be delicious too. That's coming along nice. What else? Did I miss anything?
Well, I think from the big release that we have coming up is the Architect. That's our French oak stave project. And we're excited about it. It's, even on our Toasted series, we partnered with Speyside, the Cooperage, and also Kelvin as well. Both have been awesome. And, just getting to know Speyside, we, started working with Radu, which is one of their mills out of France. And they do mostly winemaking barrels, but they're a leader in innovation when it comes to oak and staves. And so we kind of blended these two different types of French oak staves together. So we're really excited about Architect. And then we have a couple just more limited releases on the cast finish side. So
that sounds very exciting. You had me at Kelvin. Yeah. We really like a Kelvin finished project. We've learned.
Delicious.
So that sounds amazing. The Architect.
What's crazy
series.
is the production lead time on these barrels is wild now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm even talking from if I ordered something 3 or 4 months ago till now, if I order something, you're talking it could be 7-8 months before you get a barrel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Even that's longer crazy. In some cases.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious about the Tokai stuff.
I was getting ready to say that because I was going to, say that this is, I mean, we are a diverse crowd, but, I think mainly more of a bourbon group here. So
and we are bourbon drinkers primarily.
Absolutely.
I mean, people will always try to get us to dabble in international stuff, and then we taste it, but at the end of the day, we're like, I could drink it, but if you ask me to order something off the bar, it's going to be a bourbon. It's not going to be...
Oh, quick aside, though, for those of you who do like that, maybe look at us on Tuesday.
Oh, we will have something exciting going on.
Special thing. But yeah, kind of talk about Tokai, for those who don't know.
Hey, Dan, you want to...
Yeah. Well, I mean, we just kind of stumbled on this project. Our contact from Speyside reached out and just said, there were some great Tokai barrels that he had, and that's a Hungarian wine. So it's like, I don't know, how do you explain it, Mike? It's like a bitter, it's not too bitter, but it's a bittersweet wine. It's probably not the best way to explain it, but it works great with what we're doing because it just gives a light finish. It's not too heavy, and we're actually using rye whiskey instead of bourbon. Well, we've been trying bourbon too, but it's just a great finish on these different whiskeys.
So do you find the rye holds up better? Because I mean, the Tokai, that's a Japanese whiskey. Am I incorrect?
Oh, Hungarian
wine. That's what you said.
Yeah.
Like, what are those flavors like? As someone who's never tasted it, I'm just a little curious. Like,
I kind of explained it today. We had a group at our facility today from that came in from Brooklyn, and the way I'm not a wine person. I don't know much about wine, so I'm just this was like me sipping like whatever, like the little tiny bit that came out of these barrels. It was kind of like a cross between. It's very sweet, but it was kind of a cross between like a port and a sherry. That was it was very sweet, but also dry. It's like hard to explain.
Exactly.
It's like one way, the other way, up, down, left, right, but it was delicious. And I really liked it. And so what we started with Tokai, actually someone told me that it was pronounced Tokaji, which I thought sounded pretty cool. So the Tokai, we started with 2 barrels of it. We really, really liked it. And so we ended up bringing more in because it just from the profile that we wanted to hit, it really did strike a good chord. And so that's something we'll probably have out in probably the early summer, I'd suspect.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Very nice. Very nice.
I have never heard
barrels
of it before.
are cool too. They're like big barrels. They're like 350 liters.
That's really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, it is a good profile. But some of the cast finishes are hard. They're very inconsistent.
Yeah.
Well, what I find so like intimidating about finishes is that you're taking a really big gamble, right? Like you've got finished, completed product that is great on its own, and then you're literally rolling the dice and putting it into a barrel, and then you've got to monitor it closely because, once it passes a certain threshold of like goodness. So say you want to leave it in there for 8 months, but it's really good at 6 months. Do you keep it in there for 2 more months, or do you pull it now? Because like nobody knows what's going to happen in those next 2 months. Like, could it be ruined? I don't know. Like, could it be, and will it come back? Will it swing back up? Like, nobody really knows. Mm-hmm. And there's no way to pinpoint that. And if it goes like wrong, or if you don't end up loving what you get out of it, then there's all that time. There's so much of a time investment lost.
It sounds crazy, but it's literally because we deal with this on the toasted series all the time. I mean, these toasted barrels, if we just leave it in a little bit longer, it could be the best thing ever, or it could get really bad, or you never know where it's going. It's the same feel. I mean, it's like gambling. Like you're like gambling. You're like, well, if I just do one more, maybe I'll like win this like thing. It's kind of the same, it's like the same feeling. And it's like this angst. And, but no, the number one thing you have to do is you just have to monitor them every single, I think we're pulling samples once a week is what we usually do on every one of our barrels at our facility. But all of the R&D, I mean, any sort of cast finish is done in-house in New Jersey, just because you have to keep such a close eye on it.
Yeah. I mean, it's literally like the difference between like putting $100 on black at the roulette table. It's like thousands and thousands of dollars and hours and storage space and everything to just try to make that happen.
I mean, I guess
I would err on the side of caution and pull it before, like, if I'm like, it tastes good today, let's not wait.
I guess if it did go bad, when good barrels go bad.
When I say go bad, I mean,
you could always,
not optimal.
I guess, then put it in another different barrel.
So you're going to double down at that point.
If it went bad, I would.
You have no choice.
We have the technology. We can.
I guess you can't hurt it.
We can. Yeah, I would put it in another barrel, and then it might just be like, oh, holy shit, this became the best thing ever. You know what I mean? You never know.
I think that's the
there are Scotch companies that intentionally will overdo something and then blend Scotch back into it as part of their process.
I did not know that.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
So it's a little bit different, but
yeah. Next super chat here is from our good friend Tony saying, "Bless the young entrepreneurs. Keep doing what you do."
Tony, I hope you're not up in Maine because I heard you guys got some weather.
Oh yeah, woof.
Woof. It's cold up there.
It would be cold.
Thanks, Tony.
I think we're house divided at this point.
We are a little bit.
I'm between 1 and 2.
I'm House Stark.
I'm sorry. The first pour we tried, which were 3 and 2.
If I'm Stark, what would you be? Are you Lannister?
No.
Yeah, she's probably Lannister.
Oh.
You always pay your debt. Or wait.
Yeah, that's Lannister.
Yeah, I never forget. You always pay your debts.
That's
I miss Game of Thrones.
That's rude.
Okay, you're
Also, I'm not blonde.
what's Danny's house? I forget. Not you, Danny. Danny from the show.
See, this is what happens, you guys. I'm sorry. At about 1 hour in, this is what happens to Chad. And we won't keep you too long. Sorry, if we'll let you go here soon.
No.
If someone would just tell me. What was her house? It's been a while since I've watched the show.
Who?
I know. I'm thinking
Danny.
2 of the different houses.
The Unburnt. The
Targaryen.
leader. Targaryen. Thank you.
Targaryens.
Also, she does go crazy, so thanks.
Spoilers.
He was the Mad
High
King.
Garden.
What was that,
Mad
Mike?
King. They were the Mad. He was the Mad King.
So he called me crazy.
The Mad King. Yeah.
Cute.
Well,
It's okay. It's okay.
See, that was smart coming out of the gate with Stark.
see the
John
yeah.
said I'm a Bolton because I'm
Bolton?
ruthless. Appreciate it, John.
Oh.
Wow. I thought we were gonna maybe stick to like a Harry Potter.
It says resume. Hello, is everyone here still? Yeah.
Heck
Okay.
yeah.
I think we had. That was weird.
That was weird.
So maybe that wasn't your fault, Danny.
I think the stream kicked us out for a second.
Yeah, it said we had an audio issue and we stopped the stream.
Okay, it's back. We're back.
But luckily, everyone's here, and now we're in the middle.
Literally, we never have technical
Now we're in the middle.
issues unless we have guests on, and it's
Yeah.
so sorry. But thanks for everyone who stuck around for those brief moments.
Yeah, no,
where
thank you.
Where we were out.
And we're back.
Okay, that's enough pop culture references. Let's get down to why we came here,
Okay.
which is to pick one of these.
Brass tacks time, folks.
I'm split between 2 and 3, as numbered on the bottles. Chad, what are you split between?
Tell me which one of these are 2 and 3.
Number 3
Uh-huh.
and number 2.
That's number 2.
This is good.
Well, the third one that we tried, which is what we're calling number 1, I actually really do like.
I
Sarah,
do too.
Sarah thinks it's maybe a little too rye forward.
I said between all of these, it has more pepper in, like, I think that kind of like it almost makes me like a little scratchy throat.
A little scratchy.
Again, I am being very under the microscope because we have to choose one. So
Sure. Okay. All right. Here we go. And I had to get more of both of these already.
yeah,
So,
I know.
so with the 40 wheat or the 40 rye, it's basically what it comes down to.
Well,
30 corn and a 20. Okay, these are very different.
I also would like to hear what they think.
Yes. Mike and Danny, do you guys have any weighing in, or the chat?
Well, I kind of gave up my my cards a little bit earlier on, and I got to be honest with you, I'm drinking it right now. I love this. I think it was, I mean, the my number 3. So the 40 rye, the 40 wheat, the 20 corn, the dark
40
chocolate black cherry bomb. This one is, to me, because it's just a lot of dark chocolate, and I love it.
I think
can't
that's
get
why I
enough
love
of it.
that one so much.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because the weather, it's
balanced.
cold outside, but I could even, I mean, this is really good. I'm not just saying, like, I love this.
I like this one too. What were you saying, Danny?
I thought that one balanced. It's got a little bit of everything at the right time. Just have another sip of this puppy.
I agree.
And I haven't had any chocolate tonight, and I love having chocolate, like kind of later in the night.
Agreed.
So maybe like I'm getting my fix. So it's like maybe more could be psychological, but
I feel like we're very much on the
they're
same
all
page.
really good. I like them all. I got to be honest, you guys did an awesome job. Like these are all really good.
Well, thank you.
They're really good. Like that's really impressive because I be honest with you, I could have drank it could be any one of these and I'd be perfectly happy.
I feel the same way. But I'm really happy that you said that because I honestly felt like when we were doing our blending, I was like, well, they've had to have seen all of these before. Like nothing's going to be new or surprising or different or interesting. Like we're just doing, probably a variation of what someone else has done. So like it does mean a lot to hear you say that.
Right.
No, and I mean that sincerely. There's so many combinations. It's like there literally it could be throttling it 1% here, 1% there. There's never ending. I don't get it. We've only had one batch, barrel strength batch 7, that had really a lot of dark chocolate and black cherry.
Yeah.
Like that's why when I'm sipping this, I'm like, oh, I missed this batch. This was really good. It's different. It's just more. There's more balance. It's really good. So
We have a question here.
Awesome job.
He says, "Is there something that you would change about the blends slightly?"
I mean, I don't think so. Only if I could have had them, mingling for longer, which is our own fault, right? Because dry January, we could have done that. I would like to try that, but I feel like we got a really good representation of each of these 3 over the days that we've had them in these little bottles. I think something...
And we frothed them.
We did.
We
frothed. Is interesting that you guys talk about it is your finishing project. So I think that would be fun, like in a dream world where, you could see what the one you pick tastes like finished. I think that's fun. But no, I don't think there's anything I would change about these.
I like this comment from Takupa. So for 2022, we've kind of loosely decided for our barrel pick names that we're doing album or band takeoffs.
A musical spin on
Yeah.
our
Cougar.
naming
I love
and
it.
how we're referring to things.
So Takupa is suggesting good name for the bottle. The Runaways Cherry Bomb.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
I like it.
Yeah, I like that. So
It is very chocolate cherry. I mean, since we went through the first time, I have felt a way. I knew already which one I wanted.
This is the way.
But I'm not going to discount your vote. You have a vote. But Mike agrees with me, so.
Wow.
Danny, we should put this blend, or if you guys choose this one, we should put this blend into one of the Tokai barrels. So when they come to New York,
it's scary because we have no.
To be honest with you, that does scare us only because
we have no experience with it.
However,
with they have experience with it.
Right.
Kind of.
I would trust
We're making it up as we go.
Wait.
What's the worst that can happen? The whole barrel of bourbon just bad?
I think we do it.
I
Danny,
They
just
want to put
do
it
it
all
on Monday.
black.
Fill it up. No pressure either. You don't have to. If you don't like it, don't worry about it.
no, I mean,
Interesting.
I don't think this blend could go wrong in that either. I think
I don't
it
think
would work.
so. I don't think so either.
it
And
sounds like the
if
flavors
it wasn't going right, I'm sure you could just kind of blend out of it a little and make it right. I mean, but writing on the wall to work in that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Based on the flavors you guys described from it, having not been familiar with it though, it kind of seems like it would make sense.
Now, I'm all in on putting half of this stock into a toasted barrel for sure, because I know we love or a double oak, something like that. Tokai, I mean, I would be
I'm
interested.
intrigued. Who else has one?
I am intrigued. Right.
I kind of want to know.
And if it goes bad, we can always
Do
put it in
you
another
want to
barrel.
put it all on black, Chad? I kind of want to put it all on black. But I am the gambler of the two of us, so it doesn't seem right.
I also just love how Sarah has integrated her how she speaks to the dog. Do you want to go outside? To talking to me. Do you? Yeah. So thanks for that.
You're welcome.
And the dog.
What was that from? Was that there was like a movie? It was like, do you want to go to the mall later? I can't remember.
Don't know.
Oh,
you know what movie I'm talking about?
Happy Gilmore.
That's right. Yes. Do you want to
Man,
go to
I'm
the mall
good.
later?
Man, I'm good. Oh,
That was good. I didn't even remember it. I just knew the line.
do you want to go to the mall later?
Oh my
No, happy.
Jeez. I don't
That's so
think
funny.
we've heard Danny's thoughts on which of these three.
Well, he can't get a word in edgewise.
Well, we are tough. We are a tough crowd to get a word in.
Yeah, it's yours.
I fell in love with the first. Well, how are we describing these?
The first one we tried, but it was number 3.
What we called number 3. I mean, black cherry notes. It was balanced. I thought that was delicious. And then the last one we tried was also very good. I like that little rye spice at the end. And then I did blend 2 and 3 together, like Mike said, and that was very good too. But I think your pick is lights out. How good.
Okay.
I feel like we should go with number 3.
Which
AKA the first one.
The first one we tried tonight. I agree. I mean, I've been ever since I've sort of set the third one that we tried tonight kind of off to the side. I've only been going between the first one that we had. This is so confusing. The first one that we had tonight and the second one we had tonight. I've definitely between the two gone to number 1, aka number 3.
We should have lettered them.
We should have lettered them.
Well,
that's why we
okay.
letter things.
It's okay.
Yeah, so I am now in camp number 1, parentheses number 3.
Which is
40%
wheat, 40% rye, 20% corn.
There you go.
Danny, what was that mash bill again? That was 6. It was 70 corn. Was it? It was 6 rye. You said, or 7 rye? I thought you said 7.
I think it was
70 corn, 8.5 rye, 18% wheat, and 3.5 malt.
Wow.
3.
How much malt?
3.5.
70 corn, 8.5 rye, 18 wheat, and 3.5 malt.
So, because I was thinking, like when we take a high wheat blend like that, 18 to even the highest we've probably done has been 20, maybe some, but right around there. Dan, we'll throw that in a like if you guys are seriously coming, we'll do it anyway and send you a sample of it. We'll put that into a Kelvin barrel as well too. Let it sit for a couple months, and that sometimes that high wheat will get cranking. These high wheat ones have the potential to get like exceptionally good in a double oak toasted barrel for sure.
What? Is it my birthday?
Yeah, like I love the fact that it's high wheat because they'll do some cool things in that barrel for sure.
I'm really excited. Okay, Dad. We get it. You have access to sound effects. Oh my gosh, that's enough. Don't wear it out. You did 3. Don't wear it out.
You're right, Mike. That That and a char 4 Kelvin barrel, heavy toast would
Stop it.
would
We just got a thumbs down, by the way, because of
the sound effects.
my
for
excessive
sure.
sound effecting.
It was me. I did it.
You did it?
Yeah, it was
Damn
me.
you.
No, that is incredible. Did you process what he just said?
Something about
No.
a barrel.
Didn't?
Putting in a
A
Kelvin,
Kelvin
barrel.
barrel.
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't
That's incredible.
blow your mind?
My mind is officially blown, but I was concentrating. That's super cool. Like, what type?
Yeah, whatever. We'll tinker with it. Sure. I mean, you guys came up with good blends. Let's just send it on a little journey and see what happens with it, right?
I love that. I'm very excited about that. And we appreciate you guys like extending that to us. That means a lot.
That's very cool.
I think it'll be
It's
really fun
too. It's more fun for us.
I think so too, and I think like it's fun for our patrons who buy the bottles to try the blend as it is in this glass, right? But also like any iterations we do to it. I think that's amazing for them to kind of, it's educational too, you know, to get a sense of like what you all are doing, and then also how things change when you treat them differently. So
yeah,
Plus,
absolutely.
these are actual, single barrels that you blended with. They weren't batched up and then blended. So, whatever's left after we do your initial blend, I mean, we could do whatever with.
That's true.
that's awesome.
Toast it and Tokai or whatever else we got.
Honestly, in
French oak. Just we'll run the gamut on it.
We did have a question from Dunny here, who we won't put it up on the screen because Chad's got his little banner of the final mash bill of the 4 grain that we picked. But of like roughly how many bottles does a blend like this yield? I think he's probably asking that because we're talking about doing different things with it. So, for example, like a normal yield for us is between 150 and 200 bottles. So if we split it up into thirds or half it and do something different with the other half, there's probably some concern from our patrons of like, well, how many bottles will there be?
Right.
Yeah, I mean and really it's right around that. I mean, normally we would treat the 3 single barrels as like, let's focus on, because we obviously can yield a lot more than just one particular single barrel because you're blending in. But usually ours are anywhere in that 150 to 200 bottle range.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually where we net out. We actually tend to sometimes, sometimes have even fallen smaller than that, but definitely right in that 150 to 200 range.
Okay, cool.
And one thing about a blend, it's like sometimes a single barrel, you don't know how much liquid's in there, right? So there's kind of that, like we can kind of, so what we've done this in the past too, or if we create this blend, and we want to do a X number of bottles with it, and because we do have it's more of a decision and discussion that we can kind of figure out as a group. And then we want to take the rest and put it into a toasted barrel, but then we try to get to the Tokai and we just don't have enough. We can all work together and be like, look, we may have to bring in another wheat barrel. Profile. So.
Okay. Your mic cut out there for a second, but I think we got the majority of it.
Of being able to bring in something else to kind of finish rounding out things so that we can get to the end game that we want to get.
It's just about doing the numbers of how much liquid you have and just kind of seeing where you're at.
Yeah.
Cool.
I may have said Happy. Did I say Happy Gilmore earlier?
It's
Billy Madison.
Did.
Billy
I was
Madison.
meaning Billy Madison. I was picturing Billy Madison.
But you said another Adam Sandler movie.
They came out.
Which is what's important from this stream, right, Chad? It's what's important is for you to
want to kill them all later.
That's the main takeaway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just didn't want people to think in the chat that I was stupid.
You know what's weird is that we've never had this many freezing issues with this app before.
It's got to be some.
Is it because it's cold outside? I don't know.
Maybe because it's cold.
Maybe. Yeah. All right. Well, we've already kept you guys for 15 minutes over. We thank you so much for letting us, be able to do this, for sending us the bottles to be able to make these blends, but also giving up some hours on your Sunday night to come and do this with us. So thank you so much.
Yeah, no, thank you guys.
And when we do come to New York, because I want to, We never take vacations for vacation's sake. So I would like to do that, and I think we're looking at May. We will hit you up.
It's gonna be May.
And if you're busy, you're busy. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
No, come. We'll go do a nice dinner. We'd love to host you guys. Come on out. We can just show you around, and then, like I said, we're close to New York, so it'd be awesome. We'd love to have you.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Well,
Very
thank
cool.
you.
Very
And we
cool.
really look forward to this. So we'll, we'll keep in touch about this little blend. I'm excited about it. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Well, and yeah, also these were all really good. Thank you guys for even wanting to do this with us. We really appreciate it. They were awesome. This was a lot of fun. I know we've been talking for a while. We're excited. So thank you.
Yeah, this was great.
Very cool.
I know we've talked about the website and where you can find like the store locator, but do you guys want to tell everyone where they can follow you or find you online?
Yeah, just our Instagram is at Penelope Bourbon. Same thing with Facebook. And so check us out there. Give us a like, a follow, and we'd appreciate it. So we appreciate all the support too. And thanks.
Absolutely.
Very cool. Well, thanks so much, guys.
Thank
Really do
you.
appreciate it. We made a great blend, and
I'm really excited.
can't wait for it to be bottled and in the hands of our patrons. So
Couldn't have said it better, Chad.
very cool.
All right. Well, we'll
All
see you
right.
guys
Well,
next
awesome.
weekend. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, I was saying awesome. Thank you again.
Oh, sure. We'll see everyone next weekend for the Bourbon Bowl. I don't know if I should be scared or not. I think I'm a little scared. But until next time, Chad, what is it that you say?
I say, let me solo us for this part. Drink more bourbon.
Bye.
Bye-bye, guys. Now I got to find the
Oh, I said it too soon.
going away still.
Right. This
Yeah.
is very professional.
Here it is. See you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.